the Night School Reflections. You are over here with Tarithia, and we are here for our November session. We have made it to session 2 reflection. Okay, so in session 1, it was July, August, and September. Now we are in session 2, October, November, and December. So in October, we talked a lot about herbs and different elements and which elements to use with different herbs. Now we're actually going to go into November, and we have been talking about root working, hoodoo, and a little bit of voodoo, okay? And if you go to my YouTube page, Taritha Perez, and hit the playlist tab, The Night School, then there's actually a couple of videos that aren't over here reflection. I got word tied. That aren't over here that you may want to check out. But the more detailed videos will actually be on this main website. Okay. So with that being said, reflection, these videos are for educational purposes only. And this is a good book to actually reference from reflection. You can find it in the Read Aloud in the library as well. Over here on the Night School, I did a lot of different story times from it as well. And it's a lot of interesting facts in this book. So any root worker, I would definitely suggest this to be a good book to have in your collection. Now, if you don't have it, don't worry. We're going to go through a couple of things that these conjure doctors actually were dibbling and dabbling in. Now, in the other video, we talked about the conjure balls and how they would use hair to make conjure balls, reflection. And it was said that a lot of spiritual workers, they would actually burn their hair so no one would get their hair to make conjure balls with them. Okay, and if you don't know about conjure balls, definitely go check that video out as well. I think it'll be under the quick guide. So I'm not here to waste your time. Let's get started. Now, a conjure can harm someone by taking coils of the victim's hair and scattering them around the spring where the victim gets its water. It was known throughout the conjure community that certain conjures would actually get coils of people's hair, and it was thought that it would bring certain energies to them, reflection, if they scatter them around spring water. Now, this is another saying throughout the conjure community. It was said that a conjure can take a victim's hair and tie it to a string placed around a spring. Now, the spring then becomes conjured, and anyone who drinks from that spring will become conjured. Reflection, okay? So you can see they dibbled a lot with the hair, okay? Because hair is ether. Let's keep it going. It says conjurers can magically pollute streams where women wash their clothes by placing roots into the streams itself. Okay, so they would do a lot. You would have to actually watch where you would actually go and get water from, reflection, because a conjure doctor may came through and did a little do you believe in magic, okay? Not only that, it was said that the conjurers can magically pollute streams where women wash their clothes, and conjurers can actually help a person reform bad habits by sprinkling salt and sulfur over their tables and beds. So they would actually use different things for good as well, reflection. It's also said that conjurers can sow salt in a person's yard, followed by rim incantations to create an effective death charm. Okay, so they would use salt, reflection. Okay, they're using regular things that are nothing magical. I mean, well, it's a lot of magic going on, but nothing just out of the ordinary, things we can find in our everyday kitchens. Now, it was also said that conjurers can sow salt in a person's yard, and it would cause a effective death charm. Okay. It was also known that placing a conjure bag in the path of someone who will walk over it can bring that person under the control of that conjure. So you'll be walking down the street, reflection, and next thing you know, you can see a little conjure bag step over it, and next thing you know, it was believed that that person would become under the control of that conjure who owned the conjure bag. Okay. Now, let's go on to this conjure named Madam Molly. Now, this is a couple things that Madam Molly actually dibbled and dabbled in. Now, she said that, according to her, Those seeking to perform spell work without the aid of a conjurer can place horsehair and needles on the doorstep of their victim. Okay, if someone was doing certain work to them and they was trying to get that work up off of them, reflection, it was thought that Madam Molly would actually suggest things like this. Okay, it was also said that the nails and the hairs of a person can be used to magically punish that person through certain rituals. It was known, reflection. They was keeping their hair up and out the way. Okay. It says to conjure another person, one can take the hair, fingernails, and toenails of that victim, and then they can blow 9 breaths into the material, throw it away in an area where they would never pass through again. The first person to walk through that area would be conjured by that spell. Okay, reflection. It was also known that to conjure someone, they would get a bit of their blood on a cloth and place the cloth behind a rock in a chimney. Okay. And once the cloth that the blood was on rots, the target of the spell would eventually be unalived. Okay. Now, Madam Molly, this is the little stuff that she dibbled and dabbled in. Okay. So according to her, a very effective love spell is to take 7 hairs from a blood snake, 7 scales from a rattlesnake, and 7 bits of feathers from an owl, and hair and nails from your target. Place them in a fire, cook them for 7 minutes in rainwater obtained during the first rain in April. We all know April is the month of rebirth. Okay. Next to Scorpio. Okay. Sprinkle these materials on the clothing of the target. Okay. Graveyard dirt can be used to conjure as well. That was big in the conjure community. They would use graveyard dirt allegedly to conjure certain people. Okay. Bones obtained from a unalive person can protect from conjure. So it was thought that if you get the bones from an unalive person, that it would help protect you against someone that was trying to conjure you. Reflection. Okay. Now, this is a couple of other things that Madam Molly actually dibbled and dabbled in. Now, it was said that if you became conjured, if you take 9 needles and put them in a dipper of water, boil the water until the water evaporates, this will remove the conjure. So as the water evaporates, it was said that the conjure baby would come up off of your. Reflection. Okay. And it was also known to say, if you put salt on your front porch, that it can help protect you from spells. Okay. If you notice, reflection, in certain movies, you will see that in certain horror movies, you will see them put the salt. This it was thought to protect from certain spells and certain entities. I don't know about the entities, but the spells. Okay, so it was also known, if you wanted to remove a spell from you, that drinking water and taking the water across the stream. Okay, so to remove spells from drinking water, you got to take the water across from a stream. Remember, we said in the other section that certain conjurers would actually do certain magic to the streams of water, reflection, that people were actually drinking out of and bathing out of. Okay, so to do that, it was actually, to remove that spell, it was actually thought that you would have to take the water, get the water, and then take it across the stream. Okay. Now, it was also known that if you found a snake in your bed, it was a sign of conjure. Reflection. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this story, reflection. A lot of people don't know this story. When I was a little baby, when I was just a little teeny tot, reflection, I will never forget, my mother told me that it was a snake that had crawled up in my bed, reflection, and it was sucking on my bottle. It wasn't bothering me, it wasn't doing anything to me, but the snake was in my bed sucking my bottle. Okay, and it wasn't, I wasn't fucking with it, and it wasn't bothering me, reflection. But that's a side note. So that was I'm not saying that was a sign of conjure, baby, because you know I'm a Scorpio. I'm not saying that was a sign of conjure, but it was thought back when, if there was a snake in the bed, that was a sign of someone's conjuring. Okay. So let's keep it going. It says to prevent conjuring, it was thought that if you wear a dime in your shoe, it would help protect you against people trying to conjure you. Okay, that's what they thought. They'd keep them a little dime in that left shoe, reflection. Okay. Now, it was also known that let's see, if you keep to prevent conjuring, if you tie a piece of silver with a hole in it around your right leg, Okay, you got to get a silver coin. This is what Madam Molly, she would tell them if someone was being conjured, to get a silver coin and put a little hole in it like a crystal reflection and put it around your right leg. I'm guessing you would get a string and tie it around your right leg or something with put the string through the hole and then tie it around your right leg reflection. Okay, keep you away from the conjure. All right. So I don't want to make this video too long, reflection, but I wanted to definitely come over here and tell you about a couple of things that was going on in the Conjure community. Reflection, what they was doing with their Do You Believe in Magic? Okay, and make sure you join me back for part 2. And those were just some of the things that the Conjure Madam Molly actually was doing. I'm going to tell you about a couple of other things. You can see she was big on the hair thing. So I'm going to come back in part 2 and I'm going to tell you about another conjure doctor and what he used to do to actually put conjure on certain people and to remove the conjure. So with that being said, reflection, until next time, Ashe.